What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Recovering Meth podcast. My name is Kendall Key, and I am the creator of recoveringmeth.com. So, definitely a couple things that I actually want to talk about. There's been a lot that's been going on, and one thing that I do want to say is I am 303 days clean and sober. And I am actually just so happy and proud of myself for being able to, accomplish this. I know I still have a long way to go and many days to add to that, but today I am content. Like, I am more than that. Today, I know that I am the best possible version of myself today, and nothing can take that away from me. I've set out to improve myself, and I believe I'm doing exactly just that. Today, I actually wanted to talk about being honest and being transparent with recovering meth, because this is my personal story. This is my experience and everything that I'm going through during my recovery process. I just felt like I needed to document it and share it out there with people who may be going through exactly what it is that I'm going through, or something different but can relate. There's so many elements and so many lessons in life that we're able to pick up and learn from other people's experiences, and that's what just makes this whole process so beautiful. So again, I promise y'all that I will always be truthful. I will always speak my truth and my experience, no matter what that may be or how uncomfortable that may be for me. With that comes me sharing what I know, and what I know is everything I've experienced to this day. So I'm working at Sacred Ground, and again, Sacred Ground is a ministry that actually helped me get into the residential treatment facility that I am currently residing at. So one thing that was an opportunity that was given to me was partaking in this White Bison training. And White Bison, I believe, is part of the Wellbriety movement. Basically, it is a Native American based healing process, and they have a curriculum that is amazing. They do talking circles, which would be think about it as a native version of Alcoholics Anonymous. There's a lot of great things that come along with it, but this White Bison training in particular that I took this past weekend was called Mending Broken Hearts, and it addressed a couple of topics. One of them was intergenerational trauma and how that plays a role. It taught us about incomplete relationships and completed relationships, and it was just empowering is all I can say about that whole experience, simply because of the fact that there were so many people that came, and they were literally from all different nations, but they all had one purpose, and that purpose was to take this curriculum and take it back to their communities to help their people heal, help the people in their community heal. And that was just so inspirational and so motivational, and I was just so fortunate to have been a part of that. So one thing that we did talk about was incomplete relationships, and we had to write it out and speak upon it. And what an incomplete relationship is basically a relationship with anyone that brings you back to certain feelings. You still have those emotional ties to them that hurt, that could make you cry, that make you feel anxiety, and just things like that. And I'm pretty sure that we all do have those relationships in our life that we just haven't completed yet. Other relationships that would be completed are those where you can look back and reflect and not feel the effects of it. Just telling that story, not experiencing it while you're trying to reflect on it. So for me, I spoke about my dad. And my dad and I grew up in a single parent home. My mother, at the age of 13, she was diagnosed with lymphoma. And soon after that, she passed because of her battle of cancer. I didn't know my father up to that point. And he came into my life. I moved in with him. And I would definitely say that wasn't the best era of my life. There was a lot of chaos going on. There was just so much, I was 13 years old. I don't think I actually took the time to grieve properly. Being 13 and losing my world, like my world was gone. The world I knew was gone. And it was just so hard. And at that age, I didn't really understand exactly like the magnitude of what I had lost. And I don't know, it was just a really rough time. It was a dark time for myself. There was suicide attempts, and that's when I actually started drinking as well. I remember having ditch parties where we would actually skip school. My father worked out in California, so he was gone literally most of the weeks, and we would come back and party there, which was, what is a 13-year-old doing? What is a 13-year-old doing, having those type of situations and creating those types of situations? But it was just a big mess. And my father and I, unfortunately, always clashed. We always butted heads. Those are like the memories that I have. But I know that on top of that, there was the upside of it too. And the upside was, he did work out in California. So a couple of times we did travel out with him and stayed there for a week and, just had fun. We lived in New Mexico at the time, so who wouldn't want to get out of New Mexico? But, it was just a really rough time. And so that was my incomplete relationship that I had actually spoke upon during the White Bison training. And what had happened was we listed the negatives, the positives, and during that I had to complete that relationship so that I will no longer give it power over me. So I wrote a letter, and what we had done was actually wrote a letter pouring out what we wanted to say, what we needed to say, and say goodbye to it at the end. And what we did was go outside and we actually burned these letters. So, but I took a picture of mine for this particular reason because I wanted to read it to y'all. So, y'all know exactly what it is that I'm going through, or like what's going on, like what hurdles I'm experiencing in life. And this is all part of the recovery process. This is my process to heal. So I'm gonna read that letter right now, and it starts out with, "Dear Dad, I just wanted to start out by saying how much I truly appreciate you. You came into my life during a very difficult time. I was 13 years old and just experienced the death of my mother. Truth be told, I didn't mourn properly, probably because I hadn't realized the magnitude of my loss. That being said, I also didn't realize the magnitude of what I had gained. I rebelled in every which way possible. I rebuted everything you tried to teach me every chance I got. I can't imagine how many times I pissed you off instead of making you proud. I can only imagine how difficult it must have been to leave home every Sunday to go to work. Yet you did it week after week. Looking back today, I understand. I wasn't able to then. If I could tell myself one thing that would be to give you a chance we both deserve. I'll admit, I did not allow you to be the father I so desperately needed, still need today. I apologize for being a straight up pain in the ass. I apologize for not allowing you the time and day to be my father. I forgive you for all the verbal and emotional abuse that took place. I forgive you for not being able to be my father. I thank you for trying. I do not hate you. I do love you, Dad, always. With all the negativity that I've felt over the years, I finally say goodbye to them all. Your son, Kindle Key. So that is what I had wrote. And I'm reading this right now because I want y'all to know what's going on in my experience and in my process of healing. But we did burn these. And now that I was able to read that, I will delete this photo as well. But after doing so, we all burned the letters. It was so awesome because I realized how much I've matured, and I'm talking maturity as far as mentality, emotionally, and spiritually. I give all glory and praise to our Heavenly Father for that. I know that if it wasn't for Him being in my life, I wouldn't be able to have the understanding that I do today. And to me, that is just such a blessing. Like, I still can't comprehend it, like most days, to be honest. But on our final day of the training, we did a talking circle. It was literally a beautiful and empowering experience. A talking circle is basically exactly as it sounds. You sit in a circle and you speak upon what's on your heart. Speak from the heart, let it out. And what makes it beautiful and nice is that people are there not to judge or anything like that, but they're there to listen. And that was just so awesome. But with everything that happened the past couple of days, all just the energy from the training, from what we were learning, and just seeing people that were healing and going to take this back to their communities, it was just so, I have no idea how to explain it, but it was just so motivating. And like the energy was just so strong. Like, when I was sharing, I told them, like, I literally do feel like a Power Ranger. And by that, I mean, like, I was literally just ready to get up and run out into the street and be like, all right, y'all, come on. Like, we're going to go heal the people. We're going to heal the community. Let's go. I was just so pumped up. But that's literally how it was. That's how empowering and how strong it was just to be a part of it. And again, I am so thankful to have been a part of that. But, again, I still get to do that. Like, where I'm at on this path of recovery is I get to do that. I get to be of service to others. I get to share my experience and my hopes and my strengths. And I'm doing exactly that. And, you're listening, and I hope, I hope you can relate. I hope that my experience, speaking upon my father, I'm pretty sure we all have those experiences with incomplete relationships, But what I found out is my experience is burying something so deep that it consumed my very core and led me to my addiction. And thinking about that and the magnitude of it, like, think about it for a second. The pain was so severe that I had to use meth, alcohol, every day for 17 years so I wouldn't feel it. Let me reiterate that again. The pain was so severe that I had to use every day for 17 years so I wouldn't feel it. Damn. Like that's crazy. That's insane. And that's exactly what addiction is. It's the insanity of it. I didn't realize that at the time. And now that I am able to understand that, I still can't fathom it properly. I just know that it happened, and I know that it's my experience. My experience is holding on to something that I did not understand. It nearly destroyed me. Literally, I was attached to a defibrillator August 26th, and finally got that defibrillator removed in November. So yeah, it nearly did destroy me. And I thank God today I realized that I was spiritually sick. I was spiritually sick after my mother passed away because I didn't understand my spirituality at that time. I had no spirituality at that time. I thank God for being a part of my life to help me understand what I do today. I'm so thankful for the support from countless people. All the paths that have been crossed, that the people that have come in and out of my life, the people that are still here in my life today, I'm just so thankful because they have supported me and impacted me, whether that be negatively or positively. Either way, they help mold me into the person that I am today. All of you that are listening have supported me and impacted me, and I am so thankful for you for taking that time to join me for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So I ask, what incomplete relationships have you buried from yourself? Every day you hang on to it, the further you are from truly being complete. Be sure to check out recoverymeth.com to read up on the latest from my blog. And you can definitely find me on Facebook. Search Kendall Key. And Recovering Meth also has a Facebook page. Definitely hit the subscribe so that way you'll be notified when the latest podcast episodes are made available. I love you all. Thank you and God bless.